Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. Today, we finished one job, and then we milled around and got a lot of pizza, and that's why I'm so fat right now. But we're about to do one of my absolute favorite things in the world, and I know what you're thinking. Bathtubs turn into showers? Yes, but you know what my very favorite thing is in the world? Working for people that really need it, that are grateful. I love it. It makes me so very happy, especially when it's like, this is a real need. You can tell this bathtub definitely needs some attention. So we're gonna take this out and we're gonna make this into a shower, and it's gonna help a family to have a better bathroom experience, which I'm super happy about. So do we have anything else we want to talk about? Hey Elizabeth, how are you doing? We're filming. Yeah, it's okay. Anything else we want to talk about? I feel like I could be famous if more people knew about me. That's all I got. All right, we're gonna tear this thing up. Sometimes you're taking out a bathtub and you're like, oh, yeah, it looks like it needs some work. Is that a possum? It sure is. Is that a live possum? Hey, buddy. I'm sure you're probably terrified right now. I'm sorry. We'll get you. Hey, little buddy. It's time to go be free, all right? I'll let you go. Sit. Go on. There you go. Today you live. I'm sure you're terrified. Oh, hey there. So, remember yesterday there was a possum over here? That possum is not in possum heaven. At least not by our hand. Maybe a fox or a wolf or I don't know, a saber-toothed tiger or something got him, but we definitely did not get him. We let him live, and we were like, go in peace, my brother, but please do not stay underneath the tub anymore. So today I got to change out a door for a wonderful couple, and I got to know them, and it was just absolutely delightful. And then came over here and we had to get some tile and things like that. So we didn't really get an enormous amount of stuff done here because I started pretty late, about an hour ago. But we got green rock up, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna lay tile. And so I'm super excited about that. Now, because it's kind of getting close to dinner time, I want to tell you guys a dinner time story. Are you ready? I'm assuming that's a yes. Here's my dinner time story. One day, this little girl there was all these starfish were washed up on the beach, right? Just lining the beach everywhere. And this little girl is running up and down the beach, and she's grabbing one after another and slinging them into the ocean. And this man watches for a minute, and he walks up to her and he says, little girl, you're wasting your time. You will never save all those starfish. Why even bother trying at all? And then she gets sad because she realizes he's right. And she looks down and she sees this starfish gasping for water. You know, it's because they breathe water. And she gets sadder, and she picks it up and looks at it, and she throws it into the water, and she says, you might be right. I might not save all of them, but I bet that one appreciates it. And so then she went and just started throwing starfish back in the water. And sometimes life can be overwhelming, and sometimes we look and go, I can't possibly change everything in the world. And maybe you're right. Maybe you can't change everything in the world. But maybe you can help the person that's right in front of you. Maybe you can do the next right thing. Maybe you can just be there for somebody, listen to them, love them through a hard time. And I encourage you to do that, because that's how the world has changed. And sometimes problems seem monumental. For example, there are 57 million orphans in Africa. 57 million. There are 400,000 in America. There's 57 million in Africa. And you could look at that and be like, that's too much. I can't fathom ever conquering a problem like that. But some friends of mine started an orphanage over there, and they're like, we might not be able to save all of them. We're not going to save 57 million, but we have saved these 100. And that grows, you know, as time passes. And then they started a school over there, and they have affected just thousands of people. And not only have they affected that many people, but they've also taken that message to the next generation. They realized that they cannot change Kenya, but they can help to influence the generation that could change Kenya. And so they've given their entire lives, and they're beautiful people, I love them. They've dedicated their entire lives just to investing in people that could then change Kenya. And maybe that's the way it is with us. Maybe we can't change everything, but we change what we can right in front of us, and that inspires other people, and then it multiplies, and then before you know it, the world is a better place. So I encourage you on this Friday night at dinner time to do the next right thing. I love you guys. I'll see you later. All right, bye. Good morning. So today is another delightful day. Hopefully you guys have weekends off. I certainly don't, but hopefully you do, and you're going to enjoy it. So you've just got a couple more hours until work's over for the day. Anyway, so if you remember, the day before yesterday, there was a possum right here. But he is now free. He's a free-range possum, and so he's going to go over there and live out his days in peace and happiness with his family and eat snakes and whatever possums eat. But we took the tub out, we put the shower pan in, redid the drain, redid the faucet and the shower head. We made this bench, so benches are great, ladies, if you want to shave your legs or, I don't know, sit down in the shower, just like veg over your day or something like that. We also put pebblestone down on the floor, and a lot of times, I remember when pebblestone first came out, a lot of times people were like, I don't know if I want rocks on my feet, but it's actually very smooth. It comes in sheets like this, see how that is? And so it's very, very smooth. It's not rough on your feet or anything like that. So that's kind of a nice thing. So, Brooke, what do you want to talk about? Perfect. Middle names. Why do we have middle names? Does anybody know?
Nope.
I'm waiting, and nobody's responded yet. That's probably because you haven't seen it yet. That's fine. I'll go ahead and tell you. Okay, imagine way back in the day, like maybe you got cavemen or small tribes, villages, I don't know what, maybe American Indians, I don't know. Anyway, if you said John, everybody like that dude right there, and you're like, yeah, John. He's the only John around. But as time passed and maybe the tribes grew into towns and bigger, right? Then you'd be like John. You like John Carpenter or John Mason or John Farmer, and like it's John Farmer. That makes more sense. So because the women didn't have a trade, then the women would take on the name, and you'd be like, that's the farmer's wife. That's whatever. Somebody, I don't have a girlfriend, so a girl's name, Farmer, right? But then their children would also be the farmer's children, so they would have the last name of the father as well, because it made sense. But then when young girls got married and they then became the blacksmith's wife, then they would change their last name to Smith, because that would be the blacksmith's wife, and their old life was back behind them. But then you're like, but where does the middle name come in, John? Please tell us. I'll tell you. So, whenever somebody had an experience with God that was so astounding and so life-changing that they felt like the old person that I was is now dead and I am now a new creation, then they gave themselves a new name, or a lot of times God would give them a new name. So, Abram became Abraham. Let me think. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob became Israel, and then he had 12 sons, and those are the 12 tribes of Israel. Saul became Paul. Simon became Peter. There are lots of stories throughout the Bible where somebody was one person and they had a transformation in God and they became a new creation. The old person that they were is no longer. That person is now dead to them, because it's such a transformation that you wouldn't even recognize them. Yes, you can recognize their face and their body, but besides that, you're like, that is not the same person anymore. And so that was called their Christian name, right? Because Saul became Paul, Simon became Peter, and so on. Jesus renamed him. And so then what happened in 330 AD, Constantine was the last Roman emperor and the first Catholic pope, and he won He won a big victory because he had a vision and he put crosses on all this stuff. And when he did, he was like, the God of the Israelites is real. The Jewish God, Jesus, is real. And so at that point, he said, all of the Roman Empire is now Christendom. Therefore, everybody in the Roman Empire is now a Christian. And so these people were very used to, Caesar would say, worship Caesar as God or die. And they'd be like, I don't want to die, so I'm going to worship Caesar as God. And then some time would pass, they'd be like, you got to worship Zeus or these other gods that we've made up, or die. You got to worship this pig or die. And it was just implied that, like, whatever the emperor said, you do that or die. And so when he said, now you all worship Jesus, they're like, or die. Got it. And they're all like, we're all Christians now. So some time passed, and they're like, well, what about our babies? When they die, did they go to hell or did they go to heaven? They're like, good point. We should probably baptize them right off the bat. So then they started baptizing them. And then they were like, well, should they get a Christian name too? And they're like, yeah, they should, because, now they're Christians. And so then we started getting middle names. So in other cultures, Muslims don't have middle names. Lots of other cultures don't have middle names. But in the Christian culture, Western civilization, then we do. A lot of people just don't know why, and that's why, is because, so for example, when I was born, my name was Son Elk Shepherd Surefoot. because I was born on hippie commune. In 4th grade, I was adopted by my mom's 3rd husband, and I became John Joseph Tennell. So if I had not come from a Christian background, which personally I didn't, but then I'd just be John Tennell, the end. And Tennell means pimp ninja. If you go back to the original Greek and Hebrew, that's not true, it means barrel maker. But Joseph would be my born again name, my Christian name, right? So what's interesting about that is that Joseph was, Mary's husband, and Joseph also was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, one of the 12 sons of Israel, who saved the entire known world at the time. He saw visions, he was persecuted, he was almost killed by his brothers, put in a well to die, sold off into slavery. He was a slave for 2 years. Potiphar's wife came and tried to have sex with him, and he ran away, and she blamed him for rape, and he went to prison for that. And he just had a lot of hardship. But then, because of the place that he was put in, Pharaoh came to him and said, interpret my dreams, and he did. And because of that, they saved the entire known world at the time, and Egypt became the first world empire. So anyway, that's interesting. That's my middle name, but it really at the time meant nothing, but now kind of sort of does. So there's a bit of history for you. And then obviously this is good. We're going to do some other things today because the day's still early. And then we're going to come back here later and we're going to grout this. We're going to put in a laminate floor, because right now the floor is underwhelming. But if there's one thing I found in life, it's that you can take something that is maybe not its best, and you can make it beautiful and restore it. And that is one of my favorite things in the world to do, is to take something that most people look at and think that it's ugly, and see the potential in it, and put in the work, and then make it into something beautiful. So anyway, love you guys, hope you're having a great day, bye. Oh, me? I'm just chilling. Now look, I'm not a mathematician, or however you say that word, but it's been, what do you think, Brooke, like 7 minutes, 9 minutes, something like that? And if you just tilt down here, you'll see that, hallelujah. What was less attractive, we don't want to insult anybody, has now become much more beautiful. So we still have to put baseboards in and put the toilet back in and get some trim and stuff here, but quite a difference. And then I think we're going to see if we can find some paint at my house and put this paint up here, because I think that'll make it more delightful. My question for you guys is this. In BC times, did people age backwards? Were they like, I'm negative 54, but then as they got older, then they'd be like, well, now I'm only negative 50, which really is kind of aging backwards, like Benjamin Button. Is that how it worked back then? And BC, does anybody know, is that before COVID? I don't really know. Get back with me, comment on this, let me know. Also, if you have any questions about anything, or you're just like, I wish you would tell me about fill in the blank, and it can be nonsense, I will answer literally any question. It may not be accurate, it may not even be trying to be accurate, but I'll definitely answer it. All right, love you guys. Oh, hey there. So, as you guys can probably tell, we did some work today. This morning, none of this tile was here. We did green rock yesterday, but none of this tile was here. We didn't have any of the floor done. We didn't have any of this floor done, and this is a new toilet and a new shower curtain. Brooke, do you like it?
I love it.
I love the fact that you love it. That makes my heart sing whenever people are grateful and happy and it's life-changing. What else? We grouted today because it was dry enough. We did all the tile first thing and then had plenty of time to dry. I don't recommend doing that, but because I'm a professional, we deemed that it was okay to do that. So the grout's done. So I want to talk to you about the fact that we don't see the world the way that the world is. We see the world the way that we are. And I know you're thinking, that's not true. But it is true. Allow me to elaborate. If you see a person that sees the world as a horrible place that's filled with terrors and filled with people trying to get them, that is the way that they will act. And that is the way that the world will look to them. They will focus on those things all the time. And that's not a great life. If you see somebody that is happy all the time, that is looking at the positive things in life, that is looking at all the good things in their life, that's because, so they see the world that way, but that's because that's the way that they are. Like in their heart, that's the way they are. The Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And I think that whatever's in us, we can hide it for a little while, we can act, but after some time passes, what is inside of us is going to come out. And if you look and you're like, man, all the stuff that comes out of me is mean and just hateful and fearful or anxious, like maybe it's time to change who you are, like to do some serious work to remodel the inside, not just the outside. if you see the world as a beautiful, happy place that you can make a difference in, that yes, there are problems, but you get to be the light in that world, hey, then I think that's a beautiful thing, right? And then you will look around and you'll see that the world is that way. I remember when I started doing drugs, this was a very long time ago, when I was very young, I started doing drugs and I realized that everybody, everywhere that I met did drugs. I had no idea before that, but like everywhere I was like, man, these lawyers are doing drugs and these old people are doing drugs, and these cops are doing drugs, these people in school are doing drugs. Everybody was, just because that's what I was looking at, right? When I became a Christian, I noticed like, wow, there are Christians everywhere, like everywhere I go, the grocery store and the gas station and just everywhere that I go, because that's what I was looking for, right? That's what was inside of me. And so I recognized that, because all this stuff is all around us all the time, but we recognize what's inside of us. And so if you look and the world is a scary place, or a place that you don't want to be in, maybe you ought to change what's inside. And I know, look, I understand, believe me, I took a 180 in my life. And I know how hard it is to do that. It is not an easy thing, but it is definitely worth it. And so if you're in a bad place, I highly recommend that you do anything in your power to get in a good place. And if it's something you're like, this is too much for me to handle by myself, you don't understand, get in touch with me. I'm not that hard to get in touch with. I answer every phone call, every text message, every email, every Facebook message, everything. I'm not that hard to get in touch with. Get in touch with me and I'm happy to help. All right, so we got to go touch up another job because it's still early. I hope you guys enjoy your Friday night, and we'll come back here and maybe caulk some stuff. And Brooke's going to come back and paint because she's a wonderful person, and I'm so excited that we got to do this for you guys. All right, love you, bye. Good morning, and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. Today, we're going to start another new project we're pretty excited about. What we're going to do is on the corner of this house, from this corner to just past that window, that's a bedroom and a bathroom. It's a very small bathroom. We're going to add 12 feet out this direction. We're gonna make the bathroom bigger and put a jacuzzi tub in there, a jetted tub. Then we're gonna have a closet over on this side, another little closet over here, and extend the bedroom out, I forget, 6 feet maybe, something like that. Then this thing over here, you see this? We're gonna take this whole patio, covered porch, gazebo thing, and we're gonna enclose that. We're gonna put like a garage door type of a thing, a couple doors and a couple windows, and enclose all that in sheetrock. So that's what we're gonna work on, and we're super excited. Now look, I am celebrating today because YouTube sent me a email, and they said that I have now 1 billion subscribers. And so I'd like to celebrate by buying all of you guys a drink. It's a water, split it however you want. Also, that's not true. All right, so we're gonna get to work, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye. All right, so a lot of times people like to play a fun game called what does it look like in the sewer? And we're gonna show you. So this is a manhole. You probably have some of these by your house, hopefully. Usually use a pickaxe to get this stuff out. It weighs a ton. Then there's usually this little strap. It's usually full of water, but we already looked in here. Come on down, pop your head in here. Then you got a ton of cockroaches. Can you see them? There are a bunch of them all over the place. That's fun. So then you got clay pipe. This clay pipe right here, it's a 6-inch clay pipe, comes in. And then this is your drain, right? So the sewer comes from that direction and goes that way, downhill, because crap goes downhill. And you can see it moving ever so slowly. People think it's like some kind of rush or whatever. It's usually not. The smell is delicious. There's almost always cockroaches in there. We've already measured, this is about 5 feet down, so that's what it looks like. And a lot of times there'll be like a hole, and it'll just drip water right down and catch it in there, and the sewage just goes in that and keeps on going downhill till it finally gets to a river, and then they clean it out, and then you drink it again. Oh boy. So we're having a hard time finding this sewer line because we got to tap into the sewer line. And somebody comes by and goes, have you tried this? And I've heard about this water witch stuff before. And then also Drew Gunner said the same thing. I'm like, 2 people in one day, I'm intrigued. And he goes, I'll show you how it works. So he said, basically, you just hold these 2 things out, and then they'll cross when you're over water. They're out, right? And oops. I am not doing that. And that's right where the water line is. I don't know how this magic works. I don't know what kind of voodoo this is. It's a little bit scary, but pretty cool. All right. Today's been kind of a pretty good morning. Yesterday was really a beating, I'm not gonna lie. We dug for 14 straight hours, and we just fought and fought and fought, and then we figured out that the drain line was in the back of the house. So the concrete guy was all like, we finded the pipe. And I'm like, where was it? And he goes, it's in the back of the house. I'm like, good job. So we're very grateful for that. He's got kind of the outside form set. He's got to still do rebar and stuff. And then later on today, we're gonna hopefully start getting some of this stuff over here framed in. And I'm very grateful for that. Now, my son Ben is working with us today. Come on over here, Ben. Have you learned anything this morning? We've done quite a bit. Have you learned anything?
Not a thing. I already knew it all.
Wow, that's a really teachable attitude. I think you're gonna go well. Go far in life. And
it's worked for me so far. So who are you to tell me to do anything else?
No, that's fair. I'm just your dad. So good luck in school and good luck in life. Get out of here. Go make your own money. Stop working for me, you jerk. I'm just kidding. I love my son. I'm super proud of him. He's the best. And my daughter too. So Lily, if you're watching, I love you very much. And I'm very, very proud of you. Okay, so we're going to go get some lunch because that's what we do at lunchtime. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Oh, hey there. So as soon as we started filming, Mario decided this is a good time to turn on the whirlybird because that's how life works. So today we got the plumbing in. We're very, very grateful for that. We got concrete poured. We're very, very grateful for that. Mario does amazing work. As you can tell, he's finishing off the concrete. I got to give him some cash because that's how we pay people. We also got this framed up. Let's take a look at that. Not all of it, but a good portion of it is framed up. So we're going to put in sliding glass door, window, a door with half glass, a door with full glass, and then frame all this up. So this will be a real nice area for them to entertain. Come on over. And then I was talking to my son Ben, and Ben knows everything already. If you watch the last video, you'll realize that Ben knows literally everything, and nothing can be taught to Ben. So I'm like, hey, does my lighting look good? Because like I want to look good for the pictures. And he's like, no, you look real shady. And I'm like, I know I'm shady, but does the lighting look good? He goes, no, you look real dark. And I'm like, are you sure? And then he does this. Oh, no, you look good. So he hadn't compensated for the fact that he's wearing sunglasses. So that's my son who can't learn anything. Maybe you can learn a lesson from him since he already knows literally everything. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And we are so fast that when you blink, you're gonna look, I'm gonna be wearing a different shirt and more stuff will be done. Are you ready? And that was quick, huh? So I changed my shirt. This one says they have surgeries to fix that, It's not very nice. It's not a nice shirt. This wouldn't be something that you wear to somebody that was self-conscious. And let's be honest, everybody's self-conscious, especially girls. So I'm so sorry about this shirt. You're a beautiful person, made in the image of God, and I love you very much. So don't be all self-conscious. Anyway, so obviously Mario did the concrete over here yesterday and did a beautiful job on that. We're going to start this on Monday because we don't want to expose the roof until we're going to dry it in. Over here, we got all this framed, and we've got sheathing. Sheathing is OSB, oriented strand board, or wafer board, whatever. Show them what it looks like. That's what it looks like right there. That's a stack of it. And Lincoln stacked it super neat. I mean, he got here and he was just like, I'll take care of that while you're dealing with other stuff. And he just, precision. I was just like, dude, that's impressive. I wouldn't tell you the truth because that would be embarrassing for him and maybe for his dad, I don't know. But he did make a ginormous mess of it the first time. I was like, dear Lord, Lincoln, what's your problem? All right, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about kindness. You want to talk kindness or you want to talk about perseverance? Perseverance. Okay, we're going to talk about kindness later. Perseverance. Okay, so a lot of times life is hard. Let's be honest, life is really hard. And maybe you dig for 14 hours and you don't hit the sewer line that you want to hit. But then the next day somebody else hits it for you. I don't know. Maybe you can't get internet on your phone, but then once you finally call AT&T the next day after struggling with it, then you realize that your stupid phone was in your pocket and that it hit a setting for cellular data to be turned off. And maybe you feel like a real idiot. Maybe you got other problems. I don't know. Maybe they're personal problems or some other thing. But what I've learned in life is problem solving means that you keep on trying. You don't just stop and go, well, I tried one time and that's the end of it. If you think I learned all of this by trying one time and then giving up when it didn't work the first time, you're incorrect. What it means is that when there's a problem, you try one thing, you try another thing, you try another thing, until you exhaust yourself. Then maybe you go talk to somebody that knows more than you know. You talk to them, maybe you do some research. I don't know if you guys have heard of Google and YouTube, but you can learn all kind of stuff on there. You can get a degree in Google University and YouTube University. It's amazing. Then you can learn what's going on, find different people. Maybe you got to hire a professional. It doesn't matter, but don't give up. That's the point, is that you don't give up. You keep on trying until you accomplish your goal. So when I look at things, I remember 20 years ago, I was building Dream World, and I said, I want to have a doorbell that you push the button, and then a couple hundred feet away, a light turns on, because it's a recording studio, so we don't want to have a sound and ruin our recording. We just want to have a light turn on. And I go to Home Depot and I ask, and the guy goes, that's impossible. He was ready to give up. He was going to turn around and walk away. I'm like, impossible? Buddy, we can take the heart out of a dead person and put it inside a living person, and that person can live. We have gone to the moon, allegedly. We can fly all over the place. We can go to the bottom of the ocean. I'm pretty sure we can hook up a button that turns a light on. He's like, nope, there's no way. It's just, that's the end of it, and there's nothing we can do about it. And I'm like, okay, well, why don't you show me where your switches are? And he does. I'm like, so this is a push button, and when you push it, it contacts, and then it gives it power. He goes, yeah? And I'm like, where are your lights? He goes, right here. I'm like, so for $4, I can do that. And he goes, I guess you can. So my lesson to you is, don't give up, keep trying, persevere, and push on through, because nobody does great things on the first try. You keep trying, and you keep trying, and you keep trying, and that's when you win. I love you guys. I'm gonna go get some lunch. Let's go. So you probably noticed that the sun is still way up in the sky, and it's Saturday, and this never happens. But me and Lincoln are like, let's go home. You want to? And he's like, yeah, you want to? And I'm like, yeah, you want to? So we're gonna.
It is 4:50 or 4:47.
Yeah, way early, like not even a half a day.
Yeah.
Half day is 12 hours. Not even, like, stop being weird. Anyway, so this is the tub that they got. It's a jetted tub. We're gonna put that over there, just to give you some kind of idea. So there'll be a tub. We're gonna have a vanity. Then there's another vanity and a toilet. There's gonna be some kind of upright thing. That'll be a bathroom, a big closet, and then this will be the addition to their bedroom. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Also, we enclosed all this. We put in some doors and windows over there. We're not gonna show you all that right now because I'm lazy. But Monday, we're gonna frame all this stuff up. I showed you guys how to do that. I'm pretty excited. Now, earlier, we had a debate, like, were we gonna talk about kindness or were we gonna talk about perseverance? And we chose perseverance, and right now we're gonna talk about kindness. So here's literally everything I have to say about kindness. We wanna be kind to people, because here's why. I think that if everybody took their masks off and they put all their problems out there where everybody could see everybody's problems, that we would look at everybody else's problems and look at our own and go, you know what, on second thought, I think I'll take mine back. Mine aren't that bad, because everybody is suffering. And so it is important to be kind to people. Like, it is ridiculously important to be kind to people. You don't know how many people are on the verge of suicide or just collapse or just in a very bad place and just need somebody to be nice to them, to be kind to them. And so I encourage you guys to do that and to, like, just take that extra minute, take a pause and go, man, I want to be kind to that person, because I would want somebody to be kind to me. You got to be careful with your kindness, though. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, they talk about killing people with kindness, and I think that's like a figure of speech, but I accidentally did it, okay? And it's really weird. I was just trying to hurt him real bad with kindness, and I actually killed him with kindness. And they came back to me, they're like, you killed my dad with kindness. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Upon further review, an autopsy was done, and it turns out I didn't kill him with kindness. But it really had me concerned for a while. So be careful with your kindness, but not too careful. I think it's very important to be nice to people. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and do lots of fun stuff.